Start your engines, we're gonna go far. Cause you're listening to Cat Jam in the car. You'll be listening to people in the industry. And the host of the show is your girl, Cat C. You got special guests coming in to interview. And the studio's a Porsche that's baby blue. Yeah, we got the green light with these superstars. So let's hit the road with Cat Jam in the car. 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 Cat Jam in the car.
Hi guys, welcome back to Cat Jam in the car. Today we have our special guest, Lisa.
Hi, how are you?
Welcome to my podcast studio.
Yeah,
Have you ever done podcast in the car?
No, I've gone potty in the car, but I've never done a podcast.
So
that's because I drive a lot from San Diego to LA, and sometimes you just can't stop at a bathroom, so you got to do what you got to do.
So you have like beer can in the
No,
in the car?
I just go in my pants.
But
I never wear white.
That's so fun. By the way, Lisa, just so you know, there is also massage function in the car. Did you see there's a button?
Okay.
By the seat.
Uh-huh.
So there's a round button there.
Okay.
If you want some massage, you press the button.
Okay. Which button? Oh! Ooh.
Say turn on right now.
You don't happen to have one on the bottom, do you?
Yes, maybe we should get one. Like I've been driving for a long time. Sometimes my butt hurts so much.
I'm not talking about my butt. I'm talking about here.
Oh, got it. Did you feel the vibration?
I love this.
Right? So we can do massage and doing podcasts at the same time.
This is amazing.
Right? Isn't it cool?
It's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Lisa. It's first time. It's so funny. Like first time I met you here in my car doing podcasts.
Yeah.
But there is no better way to get to know each other.
Right, exactly.
Right? So now I'm going to get to know you. Lisa, please introduce yourself.
Do I talk to that camera?
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Lisa Sundstedt. I am 26 years old. It's not that funny.
Your skin looks glowing, by the way.
Actually, I am, let's see, I live in Oceanside, California. Just sold my house in LA in April after living in LA for 30 years.
Whoa.
And teaching stand-up comedy for women. I sold everything and moved back to my hometown of Oceanside, which is where we are.
Why
in a 55 or older community.
Wow.
Haven't met one guy that drives.
So then you probably need to move back to like LA to mingle with guys.
I will never go to LA again.
Really?
It's the grossest place.
But yeah, it is. By the way, that's the reason why I just moved from Hollywood, like West Side to Pasadena.
Oh, Pasadena's great.
So I lived in West Side for over 10 years. Couldn't do it anymore.
No.
Homeless issue and so dirty. I couldn't even walk my dogs outside.
No, it's too scary.
It is. It's very bad.
Yeah, I lived in Sherman Oaks, and when I bought my house in 2007, it was great.
Sherman Oaks is a nice part of Valley.
It was.
Even Sherman Oaks get bad enough?
It's not anymore. No, it's not safe. I would take mace everywhere I went, even to my mailbox.
That's bad. Yeah, it's getting worse. Honestly, it's getting worse now.
It's so bad.
Yeah, so that's why you decided to move to Oceanside, your hometown.
Yeah. Well, I missed my family.
Yeah,
my family, all my family, and I grew up here, childhood friends. Can I put this on, or is that tacky?
Totally. No, not. I was just about to do the same thing because the sun is right in our eyes.
It's too bad because my makeup looks so good, but what are you gonna do?
But your skin's still glowing though.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I got Morpheus 8.
Yeah, I like.
Do you know what Morpheus 8 is?
No, what is that?
It's a skin tightening procedure.
Oh, what, like a laser?
Yeah, sort of. I think it's like a high frequency. It's like they poke holes in your skin. They traumatize your skin so that collagen rushes to the wound and heals it, and then you're supposed to look younger.
Wow. Nowadays, it's like all the high-tech stuff. By the way, Lisa, now I kind of have the vibe where like Selma and Louise will wear sunglasses and the kind of driving the sunset. The movie, right?
Yeah. Oh, and we're gonna go off the cliff.
Sometimes I just want to drive off a cliff. I was like, it's like I cannot live in LA anymore. It's too much.
Yeah. Well, I have bipolar disorder, so I always want to drive off a cliff. Yeah.
You're always on the edge, right? Every single day.
Yeah.
So Lisa is a founder for Pretty Funny Woman, which is all women's stand-up comedy group. We definitely gonna talk about that. And tonight I'm actually doing your show.
Yes.
At Comedy Store La Jolla.
Yes. This will be the first time we've met. The second time you've been on one of my shows.
Yeah.
You did Funny Girls.
Yeah.
I produce Funny Girls at the Comedy Store in LA once a month. And I produce Pretty Funny Women in La Jolla once a month. And at Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank a couple times a month. And I teach stand-up comedy for women, although I'm going to start teaching stand-up comedy at the La Jolla Comedy Store, and I'm going to teach men and women.
Oh, now so expanded, right?
Yeah.
Not just teach women.
Well, it's going to still be called Pretty Funny Women, but I'm also going to have a co-ed class.
Oh, like co-ed. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
So, Lisa, how did you start this? I heard it's been around for many, many years. So many people talk about this.
Oh, they do?
I'm glad I finally met you. Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Lots of like a female comedian talk about this.
Yeah, in a good way? Or?
Yeah, always good way.
Okay,
Yeah.
good, because I have some people that hate me.
Really? You do? I haven't heard any bad
Don't
thing.
we all?
No.
I mean, I'm sure you don't. You're the sweetest thing.
Oh, thank you. No, I have haters. Trust me.
You do?
This girl last year went to online, posted so many bad things on social media.
About you?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, just like I guess some girl just
Like a troll.
Yeah. Like.
Oh, that doesn't matter.
So-
These are people I knew that decided to turn on me.
Oh yeah, there are always everyone has enemies.
I
right?
know,
Yeah.
it's-
You cannot please everybody.
No, you can't. And I've been in a 12-step program now. Well, I'm actually sober, 16 years sober in Alcoholics Anonymous.
Oh.
But recently I've been going to ACA, which is Adult Children of Alcoholics.
Children?
Children. It's people who grew up in an alcoholic dysfunctional home.
Oh.
And I'm learning a lot about healing in that way because that's a fucked up environment. Can I cuss?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's a fucked up environment to grow up in. You know, chaos, dysfunction, alcoholism, addiction.
Right.
You know, that kind of thing. But anyway, I digress. So, Pretty Funny Women started in 1995 because I was a brand new comedian in LA, and hanging out at the Hollywood Improv, trying to get stage time. Couldn't get on stage. Couldn't get on stage at any of the clubs.
Even back then.
No, it's so hard for women.
Back then it's harder.
Yeah, and there weren't that many women doing it.
Right.
So the ones that were getting on stage were like Kathy Griffin and, you know, Sarah Silverman, like the people that were already established and well known or had TV shows. They were getting on stage and they came first, obviously, you know. So someone like me, newcomer, no, you had to hang out at the Improv, in the bar. You had to network. You had to like wait for anybody to give you 4 minutes at midnight to go up if you wanted to go up. Other than that, I would go to like 3 open mics per night. I would just drive around. There were no slotted back then. You understand what slotted is, right, everybody? It's when you sign up for a mic in advance online, you pick your spot, you pay $5, you go, it's only 10 comics, you wait an hour, you do your set, you bail. Well, in my day, it was all lottery.
Oh.
So you sign up and there's 40 other comedians.
Yeah.
And they pick your name, you have to wait, and I'd be there till 1, 2 in the morning, waiting to get on stage in front of like 3 people. But that was the grind back then, you know?
Yeah.
It was a hustle. You had to do that if you wanted to get better. And I did. Sometimes I would drive to Pomona just to try 10 minutes in front of an audience that wasn't an LA crowd.
Yeah.
Or I would drive to Orange County, or I would drive wherever I had to work out material. And then I was at the Improv one night after having done stand-up for a little bit, maybe not even a year. And I was talking to this producer guy, and he was flirting with me. And he said, "So, what do you do?" And I said, "I'm a comedian." And he goes, "Nah, you're too pretty to be funny." And I was like, "Okay, thanks. I think." I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's a compliment. I don't know what he was saying. It didn't feel good. It felt kind of demeaning or dismissive. And I was very shaken by it. And then I told my girlfriend, her name was Stephanie Wilder. Back then I said, "Hey, this guy just said I was too pretty to be funny." She's like, "Fuck that guy. Who gives a shit?" And I was like, "Yeah, but you know what? Why don't we put on a show? And if he thinks I'm too pretty, you're pretty, and we can't be funny, why don't we own it and put on a show and call it Pretty Funny Women?"
Whoa.
And get all of our funny friends together and get all dressed up and put on makeup and fucking do our own show. We rented out a space in West Hollywood. It was called Luna Park, and we sold it out.
So that is the first one.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I just kept it going because it felt empowering. And I was like, if this is how I have to get a show and stage time, I'll just produce it myself.
Yes.
Yes. So that was how it originally started, as just a showcase for up-and-coming female comics. And then, of course, it expanded, and we got bigger and bigger, and I moved to the Hollywood Improv for almost 10 years, where I would just scout out brand new comics that I thought had star quality, and I would, like, book them on my shows. Or their managers would call me, because my show was like the hottest showcase in town for female comics. There weren't any female comedy shows back then.
So you're like trailblazers, like a first one to kind of get female comics.
Well, actually, there was one show before mine called Sirens of Satire. It was run by Penny Wiggins, and it was the show to be on. But you had to pay $100 to be on it.
What?
Yeah, you had to pay her, and then you had to bring a bunch of people, and then you'd get a videotape. I mean, that's how it was back then, pay to play.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but so my show was just a showcase, and I would like find these new comics, or, you know, I'd meet them at open mics, and I'd be like, oh my God, come do my show. So I met Chelsea Handler, Tig Notaro, Maria Bamford, Retta, you name it. Like, all those girls, Natasha Leggero, they would all do my show, sometimes on the same night.
Wow, so many stars were born.
Yes.
Out of Pretty Funny Women.
And nobody knew who they were. We weren't famous. Nobody was, not that I am now, but they weren't famous. They were new and unknowns. But this was such a great showcase to be a part of, because it was at the Hollywood Improv. All the industry would come to scout out the new talent.
Oh.
And yeah.
Wow.
And then they got discovered. I mean, not saying they only got discovered on my show, but I definitely booked these women over and over and over again. Then I took some of them on the road. I took them to La Jolla Comedy Store. I took them to San Pedro, Orange County, Irvine Improv. Like, wherever I could, I would just bring this group of women, and they were solid comedians. They were so good. And now most of them have blown up and they're stars.
Yeah, wow. So basically, that is how the whole Pretty Funny Woman started. It is very historic. One day they should do a documentary about this. Because, you know, I watched this documentary about a comedy store. I think it's kind of interesting, like only feature all the male comedians.
I know.
Now it's on Amazon. That's one thing I noticed. I just talked to one of my friends about that.
It's a documentary about the comedy store?
Yeah, it's a documentary about comedy. It is very educational. I think it's very well produced. But I'm so interested in that one. It's most the guy.
Oh, I gotta watch it. Yeah.
Watch it. It's on Amazon. It's really good. I'm gonna send it to you. Yeah.
Okay.
So
then I was producing the show. I got very close to Chelsea Handler. I became a writer for her. I wrote on a show that she had on E! Called first I wrote on Girls Behaving Badly, which was a hidden camera show featuring women on Oxygen, and then I wrote on the Chelsea Handler show, then I wrote on Chelsea Lately, and then I would write a lot of jokes for Chelsea's act, or I would give her jokes of mine that no longer worked for me because I was outgrowing them.
Wow.
And so that was a really great experience for me to be able to work for somebody as talented as her.
Yeah, she's like one of the biggest female comedian nowadays.
Oh, she's probably one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life.
Oh, yeah.
Ever. Just naturally funny wherever she goes. Just spitting out jokes left and right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Basically, you developed her. That's
no,
so awesome.
I'm not going to take credit for developing her because she was already funny. I didn't teach her. I just gave her stage time.
Wow.
Now, I started teaching stand-up comedy in 2006. That's when I was like, oh, I have a gift. I have access to spaces to give women opportunities, and I have a lot of knowledge. I've been in this business for so long. Why don't I teach? And then I found I really love teaching because it gets me out of my self-obsessed head, and it lets me give back. And I never had kids, never got married.
Only dogs.
Yeah, only dogs.
Dog moms.
And I feel like a lot of these women have taken the place for me of like what I guess might feel like a child, you know, because I've imparted something on them and then they go off and use it.
Wow. One day you need to write a book, Lisa.
I have a book. I'm halfway through. I've been halfway through for 8 years.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's hard. It's freaking hard.
Because you have so many stories to tell about like the history of like the female comedian in Hollywood, right?
Yeah, I do.
So many people would love to read it.
I have a lot of stories, yeah, for sure. And male comedians.
Yeah. Oh, you also like teach male comedians?
No, I
as well?
didn't teach them, but I did the road a lot.
Oh, so you were on tour for years?
Yeah. In the beginning, you know, I went to the Chicago Comedy Festival in 1998, and I shared a hotel room, with Doug Stanhope and Mitch Hedberg. I don't know if you know who Doug Stanhope is. You know who Mitch Hedberg is, right?
I think I heard the name.
Okay, so Mitch Hedberg is probably one of the most famous comedian of all time. He died of a heroin overdose, unfortunately.
Right.
But he was a genius, brilliant. Comedians loved him.
A comedian's comedian.
Yes,
Okay.
a comic's comic all the way. So I got to share a room with these guys, and there were so many established comics at this place. No women, just men. And I mean, like Billy Gardell I met him there. I met Tom Rhodes. I met Louis C.K. I mean, all these super famous people were there at this festival, and no audience was there because it was the first year of the festival. Oh. So it was empty, and it was such a ridiculous thing. So one night, me and Doug Stanhope and Mitch were in our hotel room, and we were really bored because there's no audience, no one to network with. And Doug looks at the New Faces catalog, and he goes, "Hey, you guys, let's create a fake buzz about somebody." And so we go, "Yay!" And so we just picked this person called DT. Like, "Oh, let's talk about DT." So we started going around the festival telling everybody how great DT is. And like, "Oh my God, have you seen DT? This kid's killing." And we didn't know. We were just making it up, right?
Okay.
And we all three spread the word. Then Doug went on radio, and he promoted him. He said, "This DT kid is tearing up the festival." And we were like so excited about DT that we went to his show. Okay. So the three of us sat in the front row. We were like, "We get to see DT." And guess who DT was? Daniel Tosh.
Oh. Oh my God.
Yes, he was just a kid. You know, I think he was from Florida and pretty much starting out, and you know.
Yeah, I love that show, Tosh Ponto. I remember I watched it a lot when I was in high school. Speaking of Daniel Tosh, where did he go? He just disappeared.
I don't know, because you know what, I don't really follow the careers of male comics.
Yeah, because I remember he was really hot when he had that show, Tosh Ponto.
Oh yeah, that was, he's huge.
Yeah, now you never see him perform anywhere. Like, you know.
Oh, I don't hear his name. Yeah, maybe he's settled down, has kids, or
maybe he just don't want to.
Maybe he's sane now and doesn't want to be in this business anymore. I mean, yeah. I think if I ever made it big, I think I'd be like, "Thank you, I did it. I'm moving on."
No more
to regular life.
Yeah, that's cool. So, do you think you want to do stand-up comedy for the rest of your life, Lisa?
I probably will. Yeah.
Yeah, because you just truly love it, right?
You know what I love? I love structuring, like writing a joke, and trying it out to see if it actually works, and then analyzing why it didn't, and then rewriting it and editing it. I really love the writing process of stand-up. And that's one thing I do help my students with a lot, is how to structure a joke properly and how to edit it and cut out the fat. And, you know, it's all about rewriting. But that's my favorite part of stand-up, is like I come up with an idea and I'm like, I think this would be funny. And then I get a little excited to try it out, brand new joke. And then if it works, you're instantly validated, right? You're like, I knew it. I knew that. I had an instinct that was funny. And guess what? An entire room of people agreed with me.
Yeah, you take a pleasure and pride for that joke kind of came alive.
Yeah, it just feels like you're validated, because there's so much rejection in this business, you know?
So Lisa, do you feel like the comedy world has changed a lot? Because you've been witness how much change this industry has been through when you started in 1995, right?
Uh-huh.
To now, do you think what's the biggest change?
Well, what's changed is the industry changed the game on people like me. People like me who started and did the actual grind of like grinding it out and hustling and fucking working your ass off and going to mics and going on the road and writing and rewriting and failing. Now it's all about social media following.
Yeah,
They do not give a shit anymore about all the hard work you've put in. It's like, how many followers do you have?
Yeah.
How many views do you get? Are you on TikTok? It's like,
So by the way, are you on TikTok, Lisa?
I am, but I have like 3 followers. I mean, I miss the boat on all that.
We can do a TikTok video afterwards. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. I just don't get it. It's not my wheelhouse, social media.
Yeah, it is changed a lot.
I know,
right?
but
So,
you're doing very well on social media.
Thank you, Lisa.
You have a lot of followers.
Yeah, I think like people think doing social media is just like people put on content because I actually write the skits comedy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
write-
Yours very well thought out and produced.
Thank you, Lisa. It means a lot because a lot of times I spend a lot of time research as well, even on TikTok because it's all about socially relevant. So I would like research to see what's trendy, what topics right now is trendy right now. So so what is the topic people care about in this moment? So I will kind of just write some sort of like topic based on that.
Oh,
like them.
that's smart.
And also like it's also people.
That's brilliant.
Thank
actually.
you. And also like the thing is on TikTok is very different from YouTube as well. YouTube is a long format. TikTok is a short format. It's a punchline after punchline. Basically, people's attention span is so short. First second, 2 seconds, if you don't hook people's attention, they're gonna swipe. So then that's why I said it. Also, it's like a punchline. Last time I had a friend did my skits comedy together. She's more like a traditional stand-up comedian. She likes to talk about kind of the storytelling, right? But like on TikTok, you just have the punchline, bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
Like people, the attention span so short. They just kind of swiping. If they don't
And they're probably not even like having the sound on a lot of times. That's why you need the subtitles, right?
Yeah, that's why
because they're reading, and if the clickbait gets their attention, then they're like, okay, I'll check this out. I did post a video on TikTok, and it was interesting because it was I had somebody filming me, and she said, so Lisa, what are you into these days? And I said, well, right now I'm all about health and fitness and eating protein throughout the day. But then I take a cigarette and I'm smoking as I'm talking about this, right? But I take the cigarette like maybe 3 seconds in. And I'm like, I'm all about health and fitness. And then I'm smoking like it's actually a clove. 'Cause I love cloves. So I'm smoking and talking, and this woman said on TikTok on comments, she goes, I almost scrolled past this. I'm so glad I didn't. This is hysterical.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to stay to watch it a little bit to get to the joke.
Yeah, because
Right?
she probably thought I was just some other person like talking about health and fitness, which is not me at all.
Yeah,
I'm like the
That's
most
why
unhealthy person.
Some people they kind of created a cliffhanger. They were writers. They said, "Watch till the end."
Oh, they do?
They do then because they know like sometimes people will not get the joke. They don't have attention to stay till the end. They were just putting the subtitle at the beginning.
Oh, they'll say like, wait for it.
They
or
said, wait
something.
for it. Watch till the end. So then people were just want to wait. What's gonna happen?
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
that's
a good trick.
That's a trick. There are so many tricks on social media as well.
Oh my
Lots
God!
of
We have to have coffee, and I could pick your brain, and you
Yeah,
can help
totally,
me.
like, you can
and I'll
do-
help you with any jokes you want help with.
Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it. And you can do
Yes.
part 1, part 2 as well. Do series is the best because, when you do part 1, part 2, and you get the people kind of want to watch your part 2, you just leave a cliffhanger. And then it leads to part 2, and then people will follow you. And they will want to watch your next video.
Okay.
Yeah, create a series is the best.
All right.
And also post your stand-up comedy jokes. That's how you said like Matt Rife, he posted lots of his like stand-up comedy jokes. People watch it.
Well, he's fucking hot. Come on.
Yeah, he is hot.
He's young, hot. He looks like James Dean type, and he's very much about crowd work.
Yeah, crowd
right?
work. He's a master of crowd work.
So I post a lot of crowd work videos. Those do the worst for me, and it's the hardest thing to do is
Yeah.
crowd work.
Oh, yeah?
But whenever I post my crowd work stuff, I find it gets the least amount of views and the least amount of attention.
Maybe because your stand-up jokes are too good. Because you're good, you're like a real comedian. You already have such a good jokes. You can post your clips. People there's another lady. What's her name? Jessica. She's like an older Jewish lady. I follow her on TikTok. She posts lots of stand-up comedy. Jessica Senara.
Kirsten?
Yeah, she's on like a Bill Burr's show, and she's like Jewish lady. She tour. I follow her.
Is she Jessica Kirsten?
Yeah, I think that's her. She's like a kind of like has black hair.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, okay. And what does she post?
She posts her stand-up jokes.
Just like one joke, and then that's it.
Yeah, every clip is one joke. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just watched the one of her joke about a birthday party thing. It's actually pretty funny. Yeah, sometimes I just swipe. I discovered lots of comedians I didn't even know by watching TikTok.
Oh.
Yeah, I also like watch because sometimes I don't have attention to watch their whole special. I just watch it.
Oh, I know. It's so hard to watch a special.
Yeah, because on TikTok, just their jokes. This joke is funny. I just watch this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I have a short attention span, too.
You do?
But I'm always very impressed with crowd work.
Yeah.
Because that is like somebody who masters crowd work, has been doing it a while.
Right.
It's not... Especially if the jokes are well crafted that you're coming back with.
Yes.
And not just a stupid, boring conversation like, oh, what do you do for a living? Well, I remember I learned about crowd work by watching how I think it was, it was Jimmy Brogan, who was the warm-up guy for the Tonight Show for many years. But Jimmy Brogan is probably one of the best comics in the world at crowd work, because that's all he does. Oh. And you watch him, and he's just like boom, 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 can remember everybody's name and callbacks and this and that, and I'm like, oh my god, he's so good.
Think fast on the feet as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Lisa, what is your favorite club to perform these days? You performed at so many different clubs, toured. Like, what is your
absolute favorite club is Tonight. La Jolla Comedy Store.
Oh, that is your home club.
Yeah, well, it's not my home club. My home club is, I would say, Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank. I love Flappers too, but the reason I like the La Jolla Comedy Store is because it has so much rich history, and the staff treats me like a queen.
Because you are the queen there.
Oh, well, I mean, you don't get treated that well in a lot of these clubs. You get like, if they want to put on a celebrity on your show, they just throw them on. And without even asking you sometimes.
Really?
But at the Comedy Store in La Jolla, they ask me, can this person wants to do a spot, it's up to you.
Okay.
And that feels very respectful.
Right.
Especially if it's a man. Mm-hmm. If it's a woman and they want to do a spot and they're established, sure. But when club owners just throw a guy onto my show, it's like, this is called Pretty Funny Women. There's so many opportunities for men out there. Like, why does he need to be on my show?
Right.
But like, shout out to Ryan and Mike Vinn, who is the manager of the La Jolla Comedy Store. They are like solid guys who respect me, and I feel respected. And they always run a tight ship there. The crowd in La Jolla is very upscale, and they're not used to seeing a lot of comedy all the time.
Okay.
Not like in LA where people are inundated with comedy.
Right.
There's so many clubs that people are burnt out. They don't even want to come. But in La Jolla, it's like you're doing the road tonight. These people are not like show business people.
Right.
They're just regular family people that want a night out. And those are my favorite people to perform for because they're going to be the most appreciative.
Yeah, also they're not too judgmental, jaded, right? Like in Hollywood.
No, they're specifically coming to laugh. They're not coming to judge.
Yeah, like in Hollywood, it's like people.
And they're not coming like, oh, yeah, I've seen this before. I'm trying to make me laugh, bitch. Even the men are respectful of the women. But you go to open mics in Los Angeles, or you go online, and you will see. I don't know if you get male trolls like trashing you.
Oh, la la.
Women aren't funny. The thing I hear the most is, yep, women aren't funny. It's like, you're not original.
Yeah.
Like, if you,
I know.
Please, if you're gonna say women aren't funny, can you please say it in an interesting way? I'll appreciate you more.
Yeah, I do. The people still comment this. You would be surprised. It's like 2023. People still comment on this. Even like on my YouTube shorts, people say that I just don't think women are not, funny at all. They just say that.
Oh God, that is like the story of my life, producing Pretty Funny Women.
Right.
Especially when I was producing it at the Laugh Factory in Hollywood for 2 years.
Oh, you did that? What's the experience on there?
They put us on their Instagram, and my comics would blow up, like millions of views. And so many comments. But a lot of them, like 50% of them, 60% of them were from men. And they would all say the same thing. All women talk about is sex. Women aren't funny. She's fat. I mean, literally, they would literally comment on a woman's looks.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
But a lot of male comics talk about sex.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally.
You know, it's like, why are you, they seem, these trolls, these people that hang out in their parents' basement and have nothing to do, and they're, jealous, I think.
Exactly.
Jealous of somebody that's actually doing what they want to be doing with their life.
Totally.
Just commenting with these blanket statements, and they've probably never even been to a live comedy show.
Yeah, totally. They act like they know everything. Trust me, I know so many of those kind of trolls comments. Sometimes, I read it, I'm like, oh my God, why you even say that? But you're like, dude, you have no follower there. You probably just live in your mom's basement, like you said,
Yeah,
so
well, they love to hide behind the computer. And just trash you to try and bring you down.
Yeah. Also, I feel like maybe the social media gave them so much power because they hide behind the screen.
Yeah.
If you saw them in real life, they probably don't have the courage or guts to say anything to you. But they know when they're hiding behind the screen, they don't know. They know you will never find out who he is. He's like, okay. They're probably just losers. Most of them are losers. Because,
of course. Because you know what? I was taught once by a friend of mine. He said, Lisa, I never met a happy asshole. And that's one of my favorite quotes.
I love that.
Because anybody who's out there trashing people, they're miserable themselves.
Yeah.
Nobody who's happy is going to be saying bad, derogatory, hateful things towards somebody. That person has to live in their head.
Yeah.
That's full of hate.
Yeah.
And I actually feel sorry for them.
Yeah, nowadays I think social media bring out lots of trolls, right?
Yeah.
Back in the old time, they don't have the opportunity to do that. If they want to say bad things, they have to go, actually say that in front of you.
Yeah.
Most of them are losers. They're like
Yeah.
cowards.
Exactly.
Yeah. Also, another thing I want to ask you, Lisa, how do you feel about the whole cancel culture thing? Because back then, when you guys were doing comedy in 1995,
anything goes back in 1995. And you could say anything you want,
right.
And everybody collectively understood you're joking. I mean, you could do jokes about, okay, so I had a joke about the Lifetime Network. Okay, so this is a joke I used to do many, many years ago. I'd say, I've been watching the Lifetime Network, television for women. You guys, after 48 hours of this, I want to hit a woman. I mean, God, you're laying on the couch watching, women being abused, and it's like, no, in all seriousness. And then I go, ladies, no, in all seriousness, if a man hits you or beats you or physically abuses you in any way, you need to seriously think about something. Could it have been your fault? Are you an instigator? Did you go shooting off your mouth again? Maybe you gained some weight. You can't do that joke now.
No, yeah. Nowadays, and you cannot even do rape joke. I remember Margaret Cho talk about that. One time she talked about a rape joke in somewhere in New Hampshire. Oh, there was a woman was so offended.
Was this recently?
I think I saw she was talking about that in. I think I watched it. Do you remember Jerry Seinfeld has a comedian get a coffee in the car? Mm-hmm. And she talked about that in that episode with Jerry Seinfeld. She said, she talked about it because she experienced that when she was younger. She's a rape victim, right? And he did a joke in East Coast somewhere in New Hampshire, and then there was a woman just got so offended.
Yeah, you know what? I have jokes about suicide. I have jokes about rape. I had a joke about rape in the late 90s, early 2000s, because I was making fun of General Hospital and how Luke and Laura met. And do you know General Hospital? Do you know
Yeah,
the soap opera?
Yeah, I know the soap opera. I watched some like episodes, but I'm not like, or
Okay,
just,
well, back then, Luke and Laura were the poster child for romance, right? They were this couple that everybody knew about, and then their wedding was the highest rated episode of all time. But how they met is he raped her on TV. That's how they met. He threw her in a broom closet, and he ripped off her clothes, and he raped her, and then they fell in love and got married.
nowadays, definitely, it's not going to make too private.
Yeah. So I had a joke about that. It was more commentary on like, oh my God, how lucky is this woman to have chemistry with her rapist? I mean, that would never happen to me, I mean, it was making fun. Like it's more like commentary.
Right.
And you can't even really do that anymore. I mean, you know what? You can if you're brave and you don't give a shit what the audience thinks, but I don't like offending people.
Right.
I get nervous.
Yeah, but I feel like nowadays people said that cancel culture may be gone soon because it's too much.
Oh, it's over the top.
They say it's kind of, especially for artists, even not just for comedians, for writers. They're like, oh, we cannot even write anything. We cannot even write a rape scene in the script anymore. But then what's the point? Because you're just creating a story. There are so many restrictions. You cannot write this. You cannot write that.
I know.
So
I know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really, especially as a teacher, when I'm listening to my students come up with material, I always have to think, I don't know if that's going to work. And, I mean, that makes me laugh, but you have to consider now who your audience is and what you're dealing with. And sometimes things are on the edge. Like one of my students is graduating tomorrow night at Flappers, and she has a joke that I helped her write. And she has a brother who committed suicide. And so she's talking about her brother, and the joke is something like, it's so nice to have all my friends here in the audience because sometimes my own family members don't support me. Like my brother, for example, he's never once asked me how my open mics are going. He doesn't call me. He's not here tonight. I mean, he's dead, but still. And then the punchline is, but you guys don't be sad. It was 100% his choice. So that's a joke about suicide. Yeah. But I mean, I think it's funny, but I've also had people in my life commit suicide. I feel like if you're the person it happened to, you should be able to joke about it.
Yeah. Plus, I think sometimes it's a joke. Sometimes people get really sensitive about everything. It's a joke. It's not offensive just because you said
well,
that.
you're bringing awareness to it too.
Yeah.
By exposing it and flipping it, turning it on its side and like making light of it. Like I said, I have bipolar disorder, right?
Right.
And I have so many jokes about mental illness in my act.
Yeah.
But that is because I believe it's important to educate while entertaining people.
Yeah, and also if you talk about it, it's good. And then people are supposed to talk about it. If you don't talk about it, everyone's just trying to avoid that. Then this kind of become an underlining problem.
I know. Yeah, I think it removes a lot of the stigma when you talk about, openly about topics like suicide or mental illness or being in a psych ward or alcoholism and recovery and the trauma, childhood trauma, the stuff that I like to explore. In my act, and I like my students to explore because I also think comedy is very healing. Getting this stuff up and out, uncover, discover, discard.
Like a therapy as well.
Yeah, my class has been equated to therapy many, many, many times. Many times, like it's group therapy. But you're learning and having fun at the same time.
Yes, exactly. It's more fun, and then you're like healing yourself through laughter.
Yeah,
laughing at yourself, right? Yeah. So Lisa, we're almost at the end of the podcast, and let's talk about some fun stuff. What's your personal life like? What's your dating life?
Oh God. That's a nightmare.
That's a nightmare. That dating is really, my joke is dating LA is American Horror Story.
Yeah. Well, I left LA because I was like tired of picking like all these same guy, different driver's license, like unavailable men over and over again. So I was like, I'm going to come and start fresh here. And turns out I'm still doing it because I brought me with me. So I'm the one responsible for the men I'm choosing.
Right.
You know, and I'm very drawn to these men who are, you know, like alcoholics or damaged.
So you're drawn into the like damaged goods.
Yes, I like to fix and help and rescue and, you know,
Like-
help them. And, oh my God, they're going to change if I just love them enough, you know, and it's like, it's so painful.
So that's kind of like, maybe it's good to get away from LA. Too many of those.
Oh, no, they're here too. Yeah, well, that's why I'm going to adult children of alcoholics, so I can heal this stuff.
They're everywhere. It's not just in Los Angeles. You know, something you get out of LA would be like, oh my God.
You would think. Yeah, no,
oh
no.
God. Oh, now I know. So I thought it's only exists in Los Angeles.
Yeah, but I feel like, you know, I am learning a lot about myself. And I'm dating somebody right now. And
Oh, congratulations.
well, it's not great.
You're like, I'm just testing the water.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to go anywhere, but I'm learning a lot about myself in this relationship because he constantly pushes my buttons, right? So sometimes he'll say something that's hurtful or a little critical, and I have such an overreaction to it. You know, it hurts my feelings so much that I go, oh, this isn't about him, because I've known him a short time. This is too dark, too sad, too deep to be about him. So what is it about? So that's what I'm getting in touch with. Like, oh, this is about my mom. My mom in my childhood, or my dad who died when I was 12. This is about abandonment. This is about feeling unworthy or unlovable. Or this is about having an inconsistent parent who had borderline personality disorder and was never really there for you, you know? So when I date men, I tend to pick men that remind me of that dynamic, right? Because it's familiar, family of origin,
Right.
or it's comfortable, but it doesn't mean it's healthy. But God, I want to fuck those kind of guys.
If you do, better pick the hot and young ones.
Yeah. I love the young guys. I do. I really do.
No, it is trendy right now. I swear, like I saw lots of my friends, like they said that, you know, it's a trend, like, you know, older women dating younger guys. Especially in LA.
Yeah, well, most of the guys I've dated have been younger, like 10 years younger. I dated a guy that was 13 years younger.
Oh, it's not too bad. 13. It's not like 20 years younger or something.
Yeah.
Right?
No, but I mean, I love younger men because they're just more vibrant. They have more energy.
Yeah.
And they do tend to respect treat a woman better.
And also maybe they're less damaged.
They're less damaged at that time, but after they date me, they're more damaged.
Yeah, after experiencing you, they become damaged goods. That's why, like, the older guys, there's lots of guys that experience, they had too much trauma in their life, right?
Yeah.
They're like kind of like emotional damage. They're like too many like divorces, this and that. It's like they have too many problems.
A lot of baggage.
Yeah.
But you know what?
I need the fresh goods, fresh blood.
But I like a guy with an edge and
Really?
who's had some trauma in his background, because I wouldn't relate to somebody normal or healthy. Like, that doesn't appeal to me because I don't relate to that. I didn't grow up like that. I like a little edge as long as they're in therapy. Or they're in a 12-step program, or they're looking at it or aware of it or working on it.
As long as they realize they have problems.
Yeah, if they have self-awareness about it,
Yeah.
if they're able to say, you know what, I hear you and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If they can cop to their part in something, you know, I mean, I'm willing to do that. I'm
Yeah.
willing to look at my part and go, you know what, that was fucking mean. I'm so sorry I said that. You know?
And it's more fun as well, right? Because, like, you know, as long as they don't have too many burdens, like, you know, that's still fixable.
Yeah. I mean, you can't fix someone else, right?
Yeah.
You can't fix someone, change someone. So if they're not willing to look at their part, or if they're not willing to grow and change, they're not the right match for me, because I'm all about that.
Right. And by the end of the day, you still have a comedy, you know, even like those things didn't work out and they used to have a comedy. You have more material for your comedy.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. I need to keep dating so I can keep writing.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine like you have a boring life, you don't have inspiration anymore, right? You have to keep dating.
Exactly.
And I think it's good for women keep dating too. Imagine like the woman, if they just settled and like have boring life, it's kind of boring, right?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of women have settled
And
in
then
their
I don't
lifetime.
think they're happy, right?
Hopefully not. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Because, you know, you're going to get bored, right? Like, you know, come on, like, I feel like people always need some sort of inspiration. I don't mean always excitement. You need some excitement, right?
Well, I would definitely need to be with somebody who's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least gets it.
Though?
Gets it.
So were you dating comedian?
I've dated tons of comedians.
So you like
in my lifetime.
Oh.
In my day, back in the day, not now. I would not want to date a comic.
Yeah, because lots of people said that. They said, oh, yeah, don't date any male comedians. They have too many problems.
Yeah, but I have problems too, so it's not about that. It's about you don't want two people competing for the spotlight.
Yes, yes.
I
heard
think
about that.
I think it's really good to have a solid person who's not in show business, who's grounded and kind of normal for me. Because I'm kind of, like out there and, spur of the moment, spontaneous, creative. My brain works differently. And I do well with somebody who's kind of like grounded and solid.
He needs to have a sense of humor, but not on stage.
Right.
Just with you.
Not somebody who's on all the time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And a lot of comics are on all the time. And they
don't
can't
feel
have
like a real.
No, and they can't have like a real conversation like we're having.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I feel like dating actors and comedians are sort of kind of turned off.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I don't like the guys who's on all the time. I like it just being real and grounded.
Yeah.
Just so you can be on, you can be funny in bed and like that's it. You don't have to be funny like outside. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, Lisa, I think I'm just like having so much fun talking to you. Even it's our first time to meet. I feel like I'm knowing you for a while. But we chatted on like Instagram, right?
Yeah, you're so sweet.
Thank you.
This is so fun.
Yeah.
You're very easy to talk to and you're a great interviewer.
Thank you.
You're a great host.
Thank you so much, Lisa. I appreciate it. And do you have anything to plug? Like,
Let's see. Do I have anything to plug? Well, you can go to my website. It's prettyfunnywomen.com. Also, Instagram @prettyfunnywomen. And if you are a woman or man interested in learning stand-up comedy, exploring that side of yourself, bucket list thing, just public speaking help, whatever. You don't even have to want to be in the business. Hit me up.
Yes.
Lisa @prettyfunnywomen.com. I coach a lot of men privately. For stand-up.
professionally, not.
Yeah. Yeah, but also I'm going to start teaching, like I said, co-ed classes at the La Jolla Comedy Store. So, yeah, just email me, lisa@prettyfunnywomen.com, and love to meet you.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa.
Thank you so much, Kat.
Yay.
You're awesome.
Ciao.
Start your engines, we're gonna go far. Cause you're listening to Cat Jam in the car. You'll be listening to people in the industry. And the host of the show is your girl Cat C. You got special guests coming in to interview. And the studio's a Porsche that's baby blue. Yeah, we got the green light with these superstars. So let's hit the road with Cat Jam in the car. 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 Cat Jam in the car.